At Texas A&M Corpus Christi today, about 100 community leaders and students and just regular folks gathered to hear State Representative Todd Hunter talk about his newest priority in state government, transparency. Hunter saying Texas government needs to be more open and that he plans to push for that during the next legislative session. People attending the event were also encouraged to share their ideas for how tax dollars are spent and on what should be done to give everyone more access to public information.
And what we hear from communities, from stations here for the communities all the time, is that they really want to know what's going on in their local governments and in their state government, especially when it comes to how their tax dollars are being spent.
What we're doing is setting up various positions, various ideas for some good laws to work in Texas. And it's really good because you have all areas. If you're for freedom of speech, this is the place.
And by the way, the 86th legislative session begins in Austin on January 8th of next year. And much more.